Hello, I'm Valerie Moore, and I'm happy we were able to get together today. I don't know if we have something that will help you, but I will go through the areas that we work in, areas such as increasing cash flow, decreasing debt, and reducing taxes. We specialize in life insurance and annuities, and we try to show people how we can trim years off their retirement date. After that, after I've covered this information, if you're interested, I will gather some information and then I'll get back with you on specifics, things that are specific to you. And today, there's nothing to buy, so just sit back and relax. Federal Financial Group, we specialize in life insurance and annuities, and what we do is we represent several insurance companies and financial institutions. And these institutions, they have billions of dollars worth of assets. Some of them are over 100 years old. And our specific goal is one thing, and that is to help people become financially independent. Now let me ask you, John, what does financially independent mean to you? Well, that's what it means to us too. Basically, being financially independent means that you do not have to work unless you choose to work. And wouldn't you like to know how to get there sooner? That's where I'm headed. What I try to do is I try to work through problems and solutions and problems. We're always looking at the issues and challenges that people face today, and then try to find solutions to those issues and challenges. First of all, in the last 10 years, income has risen, but so has inflation. Inflation has risen even more than our real income. For most Americans, their real income has not kept up with the cost of living. And as a result of that, what's happened is people are going into debt. They're finding they have lack of security, and then poor saving habits ensue, and then that creates problems. As a matter of fact, I would say if you were to poll 100 people that were turning 65 tomorrow, only 4 of those people would be financially independent. And what financially independent means to us is that they have at least $35,000 or more, not counting their Social Security. So if only 4 are financially independent, then that means that there's 96 that are not financially independent. So what is their situation? Some rely on family, some rely on charity, and some are still working. Some are still working at 65. Matter of fact, I was talking with a friend the other day, and he told me that he was in Wendy's, and he saw an older lady wiping off a table. And he turned his back to put an order in, and when he put an order in, he turned back around and he noticed that the lady was on the floor. And so he rushed over to the lady to see if she had fallen. And the lady had not fallen. The lady was on her hands and knees scraping gum off the floor. Now, if someone had told that lady when she was in her 40s and 50s that she would be on her hands and knees scraping gum at 65, she would have never believed it. But that's what was going on. She was on her hands and knees scraping gum off the floor. I'm sure she would have loved to have had some solutions given to her so that she wouldn't have been in that predicament. But that was what was going on. So this is the solution. This is a solution that FFG offers. FFG, they work in 7 areas to help people become financially independent. What we try to do is we weave these seven steps together to help people increase their cash flow, eliminate debt, develop an emergency fund, and eventually become financially independent. And finally, we also work with them in areas like estate planning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the 7 steps, and I'm going to rip through these 7 steps. If you have any questions, I want you to stop me at any time. But if you find a particular area that is important to you, I want you to bring it to my attention, and then we'll focus on that, and we'll come up with a strategy that's good for you. And we can do that on our second visit. But for now, let me go through the areas that we cover. The first area that we cover is inspect what you expect. What that basically means is part of knowing how money works and how to make money work better for you is to understand where your money goes. And FFG, we have a program that we offer to our clients that gives them an opportunity to be able to keep up with their expenditures and expenses and their earnings. And so by keeping up with their earnings and keeping up with their expenditures, they're able to hopefully free up cash, find cash that they didn't know they had. And basically the goal is to free the money up so that they can use that money towards paying debt, paying down debt, or to pay towards their retirement. That's step 1. Step 2, increase cash flow. Let me ask, what does increased cash flow mean to you, John? What increased cash flow means to us is that it means that at the end of the month, after you've paid your bills, it's the money that you have at the end of the month. So if you have the ability to, say, put a good budget together that will help you eliminate debt, or learning to live on 90% of your earnings after your taxes, or creating a cash flow because you've gone through a pre-qualified or a qualified type of savings plan, like an IRA or something like that. Also, increasing cash flow could mean reducing debt on things like credit cards. If you have credit cards that charge you insurance, you could eliminate those kind of charges, and that would create more cash flow. Let me ask you this. At the end of the year, do you receive taxes back, or do you owe taxes? You owe taxes? So what you're saying is you allow the government to hold on to your money for over a year at 0% interest, and then they give it back to you, right? Well, a lot of people do that, and that's okay. But what I would suggest to you is that you may want to talk with a qualified tax advisor and have them to adjust your W-2 withholdings, so that you could have an opportunity to use those monies towards, once again, towards becoming financially independent, and not give it to the government, right? That's step 2. Step 3 is dealing with eliminating debt. Do you currently have any debt right now? Who doesn't, right? Right. But there are some people that do not have debt. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them either. But in our programs, we have 2 programs that we recommend to our clients. One of them is called the Debt Eliminator. The Debt Eliminator basically gives you an opportunity to input all of your information, how much interest you're paying, how much you're paying in payments, and then it gives you a program on how to pay those payments in order to be able to become debt-free sooner. For example, I have a family here that they have a mortgage of $144,000, auto loans of $39,000, credit cards of $10,000, and store for $1,200. With the debt eliminator, they were able to see themselves out of debt in 13.1 years, and that did not include, and that's including the mortgage. And after they eliminated that debt, if they decide to put that money into a savings, let's say for 8%, they could possibly have over $500,000 at the end of that 26.8 years. So instead of having debt that they're paying off for 26.8 years, they could have over $500,000 accumulated simply by getting their debt paid off in 13.1 years opposed to having to carry it for 26 years. Another form we have in debt elimination, it would be consolidation, a mortgage consolidation. Here we have a family that the question is, how could they hypothetically free their, how long would it take for this family to become debt-free? Stop.